Today I'm going to explain to you why you cannot control your vibra. This video was requested by Nico and he said, well, I either have a vibra which is amazing and I win every point, or it's way too safe, or I make like a mistake with the vibra. So today we're going to fix that problem. Okay?
Ah, lekker boelie!
And we have sales on justpadel.com.
I like it.
You like it? Good match. As a general rule, I think there are 7 things that you are doing wrong why you cannot really control your vibra. So this is why you make a mistake. We fix those and we have an amazing vibra. So the first one is you're overhitting it. That's mistake number 1. You're overhitting the vibra. Mistake number 2 is that you're playing it way too floppy. Number 3 is your movement is either too fast or too late or too slow. Topic number 4, your balance is a little bit off. Mistake number 5 is that you're indecisive. You're not really sure what you're going to do with the vibra. Mistake number 6 is you are insecure about your technique. And this is why you make a mistake. Mistake number 7, the last one, is you don't have enough confidence to maintain the rally. This is, I think that many people feel like, oh, I need to hit hard because then I win the point and I'm out of this pressure that I feel. This is also why you are making a lot of mistakes with the vibra. If I hit the basket, you have to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Thank you. So we're going to fix your vibra. Where do we start? We're going to start with everything that happens before you hit the ball, because this is where 99.9% of the problems are coming from. Those things are 3 items. This is your technique of the preparation, your reading of the ball, so how early you are getting the information, and your movement with your body, your footwork. So step number 1 is, what kind of lob are you getting? Because this is very important. Are you getting a fast lob, a high lob, a very high lob? Is it in your range? Can you take the ball, or is it maybe better to play something else than a vibra? This is the most important information. So if you know, on this ball I'm gonna take the vibra, and then that ball I play the gancho or the rulo or the kick smash or the flat smash or whatever, you can make a plan and you make less mistakes. Maybe your vibra is absolutely amazing, but you're playing your vibra on the wrong lob. Step 2, where are you positioned? Are you positioned at the first post, or are you stepping in just before somebody plays the lob? Or are you like second post? Maybe better to take the vibra, because maybe your footwork is super nice. Your technique is amazing. But every single time you're stepping in just before your opponent plays the lob, or you tend to be way too close to the net and you cannot play a good vibra anymore. Step number 3. Look at your opponent. Can you see that your opponent is playing the lob? Are you watching how open the preparation of your opponent is? Or is it very closed? If you can read what your opponent is doing, you have the information sooner, you get more confident at the net, you can move slower, more accurate, and you will not make so many mistakes. And step number 4 is move early. So the moment you see that your opponent is playing the lob, you want to move straight away. Straight away. Just move back and get behind the ball. You can always move forwards, but if you move back late and you need to, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. If you feel like you lose balance, it's because probably you don't even have to move so fast. You have to move earlier. So watch your opponent and react straight away. Try to be very active on your feet, and the moment they are playing the lob, you go back. Just watch. Just watch. In your next couple of games, try to imagine you're injured. So this is the biggest eye-opener of most paddle players. The moment they are injured, they think, okay, I'm gonna play this match, but yeah, I need to find a way to be on time. Exactly. And this is where the vision gets improved. So your goal, you're going to play your next paddle match and you're going to walk on the court. This is your handicap, and you're going to try to still play good vibras, but you're walking on the court. I want you to see your opponent, see what he's doing, and then respond early. Don't respond quickly, early. And then check how well you're going to play. Step number 5, hold. Hold, don't move. So I don't want you to do that. First step, if you cannot control the speed of the vibra, you need to be able to play it and to hold it. This right toe can be on the ground and your left foot can aim at the net or against the fence, but you need to be stable. If you have no stability, from now on you are not allowed to accelerate. So first stability in the feet, then accelerate. You're absolutely stupid to play fast if you don't have any balance. So I'm going to address this to you. I'm a very positive coach, but if you are falling on the ground when playing your vibra, stop accelerating. This is absolutely the worst thing you can do to your partner. Imagine you are my partner and you see me doing you're gonna think, what the hell, Sven? Come on. So then just play soft. So if you are in the right position or you can move forward and you're stable, okay, play fast, yes, fine. And then you miss it, absolutely okay. But if you're running back and still accelerate, come on, come on. So what's next? This is all before you hit the ball. This is technique, also before you hit the ball. So now, what technical tips can I give you so that you are not going to make any mistake with the vibra? These are 5 good tips that will help you to improve your game. Hello, with Sven. I'm recording a video at the moment. 70% of the viewers are not subscribed. You serious? Come on guys, come on. Hit that subscribe button. These are 3 tips that can help you to don't really overhit. Tip 1, freeze the preparation. So what many players tend to do is they go back late and they hit. Wrong. Big mistake in every single shot in paddle. So this is going to help you to improve every single shot in paddle. If you're gonna play the vibra, rack it back or have it here or wherever you want it. Okay, don't think about that too much. Freeze it and then go back. And then from a frozen preparation, you're going to accelerate. If you do this, you're going to make no mistakes and you're going to control the ball much better because you're able to play fast and slow from one speed. If I'm going to prepare back and forwards, so if my preparation is fast, I cannot control the speed. If my preparation is late, it's going to be fast. If my preparation is late, I cannot play the angle that I want to play in. It's absolutely impossible, only if you have an amazing timing and you don't have that. Step number 2 is to prepare behind the head. I like this vibra tip the most because if you prepare behind the head, it's a trick to feel that your preparation is small. So your swing becomes smaller. The most common thing is that you're gonna prepare way too big, hands out of each other, way too high, way too low. It's not working. So what I want you to do is to touch your head with your racket and from there just go. If you can touch your head with your racket, you feel that your preparation is small enough and you are able to play the nice preparation. And also, if you don't touch your head, sometimes you can be here, you can be here, you can be here, which is like a bandeja preparation, and then last second you need to switch with your wrist. This is also why you make mistakes or you're overhitting it. So the third tip is to be in between relaxed and tense. So you need to find a balance where you are not too relaxed, where everything is floppy, and where it's not too tense. So it's in between. So find that balance in your movement, that it's not too tense and not too relaxed. So that was how you can avoid overhitting. Now, how to avoid being too floppy. So these are tips that you can use if you feel like that your technique is floppy, that you hit the net or nothing happens at all with your vibra and it's way too easy for your opponent and they can just hit the ball back and win the point. Tense your feet. So with some players, I feel like either they are too small in their movements, they're like a bit off balance, and not like a little bit. Some people are really high on their feet, they don't have balance, and then the rest is not going to work because you lose a lot of balance. So what I would recommend is to be stable enough that you can serve. If you can think of, I'm doing some surfing, not on the internet, but on plank, then you're able to have more control. Tip number 2 in not being too floppy is use every muscle a bit like the same. So many people, if that's floppy, it's a lot of wrist action. And that's maybe because you're not turned in. So what I would recommend is when you're playing the vibra, is to turn a lot, to make yourself small and to rotate your body. Because if you rotate your body in this way, so my left shoulder is aiming to the other side, I am able to use my shoulders and my wrist. Then it's fine. But many players tend to move back in this way, and then it's gonna be a lot of wrist action. So what you want is to imagine you're using everything, but soft. So if you use just your wrist, you need to use a lot of wrist to generate the power that you want. And maybe that timing is amazing, but it can also be super terrible because the timing of the wrist is the most complicated thing. And I feel like many players, they want that wrist to be amazing and to do the most with the wrist. So when you prepare with your shoulders. Be stable and then use your shoulders. So if you're too floppy, I would recommend to use the shoulders more than the wrist, and the rest will happen, trust me. Tip number 3 is to hit next to you. So this is how far you want to hit. If you want to play cross, you can hit it a little bit closer to you if you want to play to the center. The most important one is that you're not hitting the ball above you, which also feels like you're gonna use a lot of wrist, or here, and then it's too floppy. So when you are able to hit the ball back, you need to make a lot of space. So this is where I want to go if I want to get like a good vibra. This is something, tip number 4, that I trained a lot with Herman Schaefer, so credit to him for this thing. If you're playing the vibra, you want your head to the ball. And so many players, when they hit the vibra, they go here because they did not make enough space. So they make space in this way. And then it's out. No balance, no control, and not a good contact point. So solve the vibras with your feet, not with the wrist. Yeah? So whenever the ball is coming and you move away, have your head towards the ball, because now the balance is in the right area, because I'm going to hit the ball here and then I can go there. When you hit the vibra, be careful with looking too early. Try to be here, contact point, watch the contact point, and then the other side of the court. Don't do that too long, because the next ball is coming. That was a joke. But if you make a joke, you should not announce it. I understand. But you never know who's watching these videos and they think, yeah, but Sven, the next ball is coming. I think I need to stop this joke. We go to the next tip. Tip number 4 is to build up. So if you have a problem where your vibra is amazing, or too soft, where it's like too much difference, you need to imagine you're building up the point with the vibra and you are not scoring it. If you played like 10 good vibras in the match, okay, maybe you can score one, but start to build up and to have that in mind that you're going to build up the point and not to score with the vibra. This is crucial, because if you're telling yourself to score, you're going to make mistakes. If you're telling yourself maybe to play it too safe, you're going to make also a mistake. So build up, build up. This is what you have to tell yourself. Tip number 5 is you're hitting too low. So what happened, some people, they hit the vibra low or the shoulder height, and then you cannot really accelerate it, because if you do, the ball will go out. It will float. So what you need to do is, if you feel like you're making too many mistakes, watch where the mistakes are made. Are you hitting the net or are you hitting the glass? So if you hit the glass, hit the ball higher. If you hit the net, maybe you're hitting the ball too high because the ball goes down too much. So if you are hitting the glass, the back wall, you hit too low, the ball will float, or your preparation is too open. And if you hit too high, too close to you, the ball will go into the net, or it has a very high rebound. So make sure to have it around your eyes, the height of the contact point, or higher when you are around the surface line. So the further you are, the higher you should hit and the softer. And the closer you are, the lower you can hit. So these are the mindset tips. What you don't do is you are not imagining, you're not in your mind, you need to put the ball here. You need to put a cone. You need to put an imaginary cone in your head where you're aiming the ball. If you don't have any sense of where you are going to play the vibra, you are going to miss it. Mental tip number 1, put an imaginary cone on the court. Tip number 2 is coach your partner, and vice versa, where the opponents are positioned. Because if your opponents are moving closer, you need to tell your partner what is going on. If your opponent is going to start to hug the back wall, you need to tell them they are deep. So you can also play the vibra deeper. It also gives more confidence. So if I tell my partner, they are really far back, whew, my partner gets less stressed because they know where they are. And they can make a decision based on it. If they don't know where they are, it might be difficult for my partner to get into like a decision mindset. So it will help your partner a lot to tell them where your opponents are positioned. Are they far? Are they running in? Are they covering the middle or wherever? But you need to tell them something. Mental tip number 3, process is more important than the result. So, what is your goal? What level do you want to reach today? What level would you like to reach next year? What vibra do you need to get to that level? Do you want to stay at the same level? Are you too scared to make mistakes because you're losing a friendly match? So you're allowing yourself to lose. You're not allowing yourself to lose a friendly match and not daring to play the vibra that you need to win that match. So the process is more important. So if your partner plays a vibra and he makes a mistake, and this is something that you wanted to reach with you and your partner, so your partner wants to improve their vibra and they do a good thing but they make a mistake, it's like, good mistake, nice. But if your partner, instead of playing the vibra, plays a gancho, you say, hey, this is not what we agreed on. We were going to play the vibra, this is what we learned, so this is a bad mistake. So, if your partner makes a good mistake, tell them, good, keep doing this, it's gonna come. If your partner makes a bad mistake, say it, hey, this is not what we discussed. Tip number 4, build up, don't score. So, your vibra most of the time is meant to build up and that your opponent gets, or that your partner gets a volley after. So, build up the vibra. If you play 1,000,000 vibras in a row without any mistake, you can do more. Well, maybe if you feel confident enough in your vibra, do a little bit more, but start with building up with the vibra. So tell yourself, this is to build up the point. Tip number 5, trust your external focus. And what I mean by this, if I want to hit that cone that was just there, I just need to imagine that I'm going to hit that cone. I need to visualize that I'm going to hit the cone. And most of you are way too focused on your technique. So you're only thinking about how to hold the wrist, how to hold the preparation. or you watch this video and you want to try to do all these tips in this video in one vibra. This is impossible, step by step. So this is a video that you can watch again and again and again, because I earn more money if you do it in that way. It's better than to watch it one time. But if you're too focused on your technique, you stop looking to the other side of the court. It's not going to help you. So you need to imagine the cone, visualize hitting the cone, and trust yourself. If you only think about the cone, your technique will do the trick. And one more bonus tip, because I prepared this entire list, but for everybody that keeps watching to the end of the video, I want to give something extra. And this is crucial, because if you're hitting the vibra a little bit behind you, this is also the reason why you're using your wrist too much and it gets like a too floppy action. So what I would recommend is to hit it next to you or slightly in front. If you play on the right side, most of the time you will hit it earlier because the ball will go more cross courts. And if you play on the left side, you hit a little bit more next to you, but be careful with hitting behind you.